execution turns dreams into gold. In the quiet chambers of the mind, dreams are forged visions of grandeur, whispers of possibility. But dreams alone are not gold. Gold shines only when mined, refined, tested, and polished. Execution is the crucible. Execution takes your raw desire and turns it into reality. Napoleon Hill taught that desire is the starting point, but only execution transforms it into treasure. Dreams are potential, execution is alchemy. Imagine Edison and his endless array of failed prototypes, light bulbs blackened with failure, lab littered with fragments, morale drained. And yet he executed again and again, testing filament after filament, refusing to stop until light won. His dream didn't glow because he daydreamed. It illuminated the world because he executed tirelessly. The bulb was gold not because of the idea, but because of the execution that refined it. Think of Abraham Lincoln standing on dusty roads after lost debates, wounded by grief, mocked by the world. His dream of a united nation almost died in his heart, but he executed by writing relentless letters, studying legal tomes by flawed candlelight, attending debates at dawn. His execution cemented his integrity and eventually forged freedom. Unity became gold, not because he wished for it, but because he executed through history's darkest hours. Belief ignites the dream, but execution powers it into motion. Belief without execution is mere fantasy. Modern psychology shows that self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to accomplish actions, predicts persistence, but only if actions follow belief. You may believe you can, but unless you act, you're left standing still. Execution bridges the chasm between belief and becoming. Clarity and vision shape execution. A foggy dream yields scattered actions. A clear vision gives execution direction. He'll emphasize definiteness of purpose, not vague hopes, but razor-sharp goals. Andrew Carnegie didn't vaguely desire wealth. He executed to build steel empires. Ford didn't vaguely wish to innovate. He executed mass production with iron resolve. Disney didn't vaguely imagine joy. He executed story by story until the world believed again. Clear vision fuels focused execution, but vision alone is not enough. It requires discipline. Execution is not glamorous. It is showing up when fatigue grips your bones, when no one watches, when doubt floods your mind. Discipline is a ritual. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. Repetition builds habits, and habits automate excellence. and.wikipedia.org. Edison's execution was consistent in failure. Lincoln wrote speeches when hope had fled. Disney sketched frames when banks had closed their doors. Discipline makes execution inevitable. Yet execution without resilience crumbles under pressure. Resilience is the will to restart after every failure. Thomas Edison tested thousands of materials before one held light. Lincoln endured defeat after defeat until destiny opened the White House. The resilient builder rises when storms flatten the blueprint. Without resilience, execution halts. With resilience, execution becomes unstoppable. Adaptability refines execution. The plan will break, the market will shift, the critics will roar. Edison tweaked experiments. Ford refined models. Disney pivoted mediums. A rigid execution collapses in the face of change. An adaptable execution shifts strategy but never abandons the goal. It turns breakdowns into breakthroughs. Learning strengthens execution. Carnegie read to escape poverty. Lincoln studied law to command respect. Edison consumed science to spark invention. Your execution must be educated. Learning fuses strategy into sweat, insight into action. Without learning, execution is blunt effort. With learning, execution is precision labor. Purpose elevates execution into destiny. Gandhi's purpose was independence. His execution was peaceful protest that redefined power. Mandela's purpose was reconciliation. His execution behind bars reshaped a nation's soul. Oprah's purpose was giving voice. Her execution in the face of adversity created a platform of hope. Purpose turns execution from routine into legacy. Execution is not a moment, it is a marathon. Every sunrise invites action. Every sunset reflects persistence. Execution stretches across days, months, years, long after dreams fade without it. Edison's first successful light didn't end execution, it validated it. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address wasn't the end of effort, it affirmed a century of daily study before it. Execution is the heir of dreams. For every moment of brilliance, there are thousands of monotonous tasks executed in faith. The goal of success is mind, not invisibility, but an invisible routine, the calloused hands that build, the lonely hours that refine, the quiet persistence that outlasts doubt. So ask yourself, what are you willing to execute today for the dream you carry? Will your dream die in the dusty vault of thought, or will it rise through the fire of your action? The answer defines your fortune. Because dreams alone glitter momentarily, action polishes them into gold. Dreams sparkle in the imagination, but imagination without urgency is a mirage. Execution demands movement now. Hill thundered, "Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand. Delay is the graveyard of dreams. Tomorrow is the thief that steals gold from your hands." Execution belongs to the present, not the future. Think of Colonel Sanders, 65 years old, carrying a recipe and little else. He knocked on 1,000 doors, faced 1,000 rejections. Had he delayed, had he waited for better timing, the world would have never tasted Kentucky Fried Chicken. Execution turned a fading dream into an empire, not because he dreamed, but because he executed with urgency. Urgency ignites momentum. Momentum is the compound interest of execution. At first, the grind feels futile, progress unseen, applause absent, results hidden. Yet each action builds upon the last. Each repetition adds weight. Soon the wheel turns, and the turning wheel turns faster. Momentum makes execution unstoppable. Edison's 10,000 experiments created momentum until invention became inevitable. Ford's daily refinements created momentum until cars reshaped economies. Disney's countless sketches created momentum until imagination ruled kingdoms. Momentum is execution compounded, tiny steps repeated until they roar into history. But momentum must be fueled by gratitude. Gratitude is the shield that protects execution when storms batter progress. Gratitude reframes hardship as training, rejection as redirection, delay as preparation. Oprah Winfrey has often said that gratitude transformed her perspective, that even in pain, she found something to be thankful for. Gratitude sanctifies execution, reminding you that the grind itself is the gold. Gratitude sustains resilience. The path of execution will bruise you. You will fail, be mocked, betrayed, forgotten. Without gratitude, bitterness poisons execution. With gratitude, pain sharpens persistence. Nelson Mandela gave thanks even in prison, not for bars, but for the chance to sharpen patience, to deepen resolve. Gratitude transformed chains into chisels, shaping the leader who would reconcile a nation. Execution also demands faith. Faith is not passive hope, it is belief, proven through action. Hill called it applied faith, acting as though success is inevitable, even when evidence mocks you. Faith is the unseen muscle of execution. Abraham Lincoln's faith kept him grinding through 8 election defeats. J.K. Rowling's faith kept her writing while poverty and rejection closed in. Edison's faith kept him experimenting when investors sneered. Faith says, keep executing. The gold is hidden, but it is there. Yet faith is hollow without adaptability. Execution is never a straight line. Dreams must bend through storms, shift through failures, adapt through disruption. Edison adjusted materials. Ford refined designs. Jobs pivoted after exile, creating Next-T and Pixar before revolutionizing Apple again. Adaptable execution transforms obstacles into opportunities. Rigidity destroys dreams. Adaptability refines them. Adaptability is proof that execution honors vision, not method. The goal does not lie in one path. It lies in persistence guided by flexibility. Purpose is the compass, adaptability the wheel. Together, they ensure execution never halts. And learning fortifies adaptability. Execution without learning is wasted energy, repetition of error, labor without progress. Learning transforms action into improvement. Carnegie read voraciously, executing with insight. Lincoln studied law relentlessly, executing with precision. Edison consumed scientific journals, executing with sharper experiments. The greatest executors were not just persistent, they were persistent learners. Execution requires humility to learn, adaptability to shift, faith to endure, gratitude to sustain, urgency to begin, momentum to multiply. It is not one moment of brilliance, it is thousands of small actions, aligned with vision, anchored in purpose, repeated with discipline, sustained by resilience. So ask yourself, do you execute with urgency or do you delay for perfection? Do you compound execution into momentum or do you quit when results lag? Do you protect execution with gratitude or do you poison it with complaint? Do you fuel execution with faith or do you abandon it to doubt? Do you refine execution with adaptability and learning, or do you repeat mistakes in pride? The truth is merciless. Ideas are worthless until executed. Fortune does not crown dreamers. Fortune crowns doers. History does not remember those who imagined castles. It remembers those who built them, because execution turns dreams into gold. Discipline is the spine of execution. Without discipline, urgency fizzles, momentum fades, faith weakens. Discipline is the iron law of success. Do it again. It doesn't matter if you are tired, distracted, discouraged. Discipline commands execution. Napoleon Hill warned that drifting destroys destiny. Discipline is the antidote. It keeps the ship steady when storms howl, when excuses scream, when comfort whispers. Think of Michael Jordan. He wasn't simply talented, he was disciplined. After being cut from his high school team, he didn't sulk, he executed discipline, practicing thousands of unseen shots until greatness was inevitable. Discipline is repetition turned into rhythm. Rhythm turned into excellence. Excellence turned into fortune. Discipline builds resilience. Execution will not spare you hardship. Failure will arrive. Loss will strike. Critics will sneer. The resilient executor is not the one who avoids pain, but the one who rises from it. Edison's 10,000 failures were resilience in action. Lincoln's years of defeat were resilience embodied. Mandela's decades behind bars were resilience sanctified. Resilience means execution continues even when results are invisible. Resilience is not about never falling, it is about refusing to stay down. It is action stitched with persistence, decision fueled by stubbornness, vision carried through tears. Resilience transforms wounds into wisdom, scars into strength, setbacks into setups. Every time you rise, you train destiny to recognize your name. And over time, execution shapes identity. You are not what you occasionally attempt, you are what you repeatedly execute. Identity is the sum of your disciplined actions. Aristotle declared, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Edison's identity was invention because he executed experiments daily. Lincoln's identity was leadership because he executed reflection and writing daily. Disney's identity was storytelling because he executed sketches daily. Identity is forged in execution, not intention. Dreams without execution are fantasies, but execution repeated turns into character, and character decides destiny. But execution cannot stay internal. It must express itself through action. Action is the body of execution, the visible proof of invisible vision. Too many talk like kings, but act like slaves to fear. Too many dream like visionaries, but act like drifters. Action is the bridge. Action is the hammer in the builder's hand, the decree enforced by the king's command. Steve Jobs did not just dream of sleek devices, he acted, creating, failing, refining, building again, until Apple reshaped the world. J.K. Rowling did not just imagine stories, she acted, writing in cafes through poverty, execution, carving fantasy into empire. Walt Disney did not just dream of castles, he acted brick by brick, drawing by drawing, until imagination stood in stone. Their actions immortalized their vision, and when action is repeated across a lifetime, it births legacy. Legacy is execution outliving the executor. Legacy is the echo of discipline, resilience, and identity long after the hands that labored are gone. Edison's execution glows in every bulb. Ford's execution drives in every car. Lincoln's execution speaks in every democracy. Mandela's execution heals in every call for justice. Disney's execution enchants in every child's laughter. Legacy is proof that execution turns dreams not only into gold for one generation, but into inheritance for many. Legacy is the builder's cathedral, the king's decree echoing beyond death, the executor's rhythm resounding into eternity. And here's the truth. Your legacy is being written by your execution right now. Every disciplined habit, every resilient choice, every repeated action is a line in the story of your life. Execution does not just decide your fortune, it decides how the world will remember you. So ask yourself, are your daily actions shaping the identity you want? Are they building the legacy you desire? Or are you drifting, abandoning execution, leaving your story half-written, your fortune unmined, your gold buried in the ground? The law is eternal. Discipline builds resilience. Resilience shapes identity. Identity fuels action. Action forges legacy. Legacy immortalizes execution. Execution turns dreams into gold, but it also turns men into kings, workers into builders, visionaries into legends. At the end of it all, every human life reduces to this. What did you execute? Not what did you dream? Not what did you intend? Not what did you hope? What did you do? The world is littered with abandoned dreams, half-written stories, unfinished symphonies, unbuilt inventions. Why? Not for lack of talent, not for lack of vision, but for lack of execution. The graveyard is the richest land in the world because it is filled with gold that was never mine, dreams that died because execution was postponed until tomorrow, postponed until never. But history bows to the few who refuse to stop at dreaming. Edison executed until light conquered darkness. Ford executed until cars roared across nations. Lincoln executed until unity was restored. Disney executed until imagination wore a crown. Mandela executed until forgiveness rebuilt a broken land. They all dreamed, yes, but dreaming was only the seed. Execution was the harvest. Napoleon Hill declared, "Action is the real measure of intelligence." He knew the mind can conceive, the heart can believe, but only execution achieves. Execution is thought in motion, faith with feet, belief with backbone. Execution is the hammer striking the stone until sparks fly and monuments rise. Execution will demand sacrifice. It will steal your sleep, stretch your patience, burn your muscles, wound your pride. But it will give back more than it takes. It will give you resilience, forged in fire, confidence born of proof, identity rooted in discipline, and a legacy sealed in action. Execution is the great purifier. It burns away excuse, laziness, distraction, leaving only purpose and power. There will be days when no one claps, when progress is invisible, when you question whether your grind matters. Those are the days that separate the dreamers from the doers. Those are the days that define destiny. Execution whispers, do it anyway, do it again, do it until. And in time, the world will see what you saw long before it was visible. The castle will rise, the vision will breathe, the dream will glitter as gold, and they will call you lucky, genius, chosen. But you will know the truth. You will know it wasn't luck, it wasn't genius, it wasn't chance, it was execution. So rise tomorrow and act. Not grand gestures, but consistent execution. Make the call, write the page, build the plan, train the body, refine the craft, save the dollar, study the book. Do the thing and then do it again. Over and over until repetition becomes rhythm, rhythm becomes mastery, mastery becomes fortune. Because execution is not one act, it is a lifetime of acts compounded. It is 1,000 drops of water carving stone, 1,000 steps carving trails, 1,000 hammer strikes shaping kingdoms. Execution turns invisible dreams into undeniable gold. And when your final day comes, when your story is read, when your name is spoken, let it not be said that you only dream. Let it be said, this one executed, this one turned thoughts into things, visions into monuments, dreams into gold. This one did not drift, this one built. That is the power within your hands. That is the power of execution. Dreams are sparks. Execution is fire. Dreams are seeds. Execution is harvest. Dreams are promises. Execution is proof. So decide now. Do not wait. Do not drift. Do not bury your gold in the ground. Act. Persist. Endure. Adapt, execute. Because fortune does not follow dreamers. Fortune follows executors. And execution, only execution, turns dreams into gold.